starting late, but you know, the day, we have just started. So we cannot start on a low. I first want to say good morning to my colleagues at the head table. Mrs. Sam Rosenberg, owner of, person in charge of Axcel Finance. I will go right into, and certainly thank you for coming. My colleague from the Ministry of Education, Mrs. Jacqueline Richardson, Education Officer responsible for business. She thought that she had to be here because when we thought about this, when we heard about this, we figured that we wanted to see exactly how it would pan out. There are so many things that we are supposed to know in theory, but do not put into practice. Little things, you know? Like saying good morning, good afternoon, good night, when we come into a room and encounter others. Saying thank you when someone gives us something or extends a service to us. Men, for example, well, we have boys in the room. Men should not sit until their wives or female companions sit down at a table, for example. Do you know that? Do you know that? Men again should not sit in a bus and watch elderly folks stand for the length of the journey because they're weary too, quote unquote. We do not always, therefore, do what we should do. This morning, on behalf of the ministry, or the minister, sorry, the Minister of Education and the staff at the Ministry of Education, I wish to welcome you to this important exercise. Today, Axcel Finance has chosen to host this 2014 career program because they recognize that there is a need for this. They run a business, you see, and in practice, they have noticed that many students and recent graduates require additional guidance on career preparation and specifically CV writing and interview techniques. I wish to say that I know that these things are taught in schools, in theory. Unfortunately, though, they are not put into practice. And unfortunately, schools get the blame. When I left school many moons ago, one applied for work at all the places one could think of and hoped to get a positive response instead of letters all saying, unfortunately, there are no vacancies at this time. However, your application will be held on file for chance an opening should present itself. And we know, of course, that opening never comes. I want to be honest and say that in Antigua today, very often, one gets a job if somebody knows you or knows your parents, or if there's somebody of influence working in an establishment who would be prepared to either employ you or speak to an employer on your behalf. But I hasten to say to you that no one will employ riffraffs. You know what that is? Those are riffraffs, people who don't care. They do not bring anything to the table. They do not add. So when you are recommended to an employer, the person who recommends you expects that you will represent yourself well. And this means that you will be punctual for work all the time, adequately dressed, and of course be well groomed. You will ensure that you are, a small thing I'm going to say, but it is important that you are smelling good all the time. And I want you to think about it, because today at this workshop, you need to bear in mind and listen to what the speakers will be saying to you. The person who employs you expects that you will be friendly, respectful, that you will speak standard English. I hasten to say that on-the-job dialect has its place, folks, and that you will be humble and show that you are willing to learn the job at all times. Today, the human resource experts that we have here on the platform will show you how to prepare your CVs. But I want to urge you to pay attention to the written word as you prepare your job applications. Sell yourself well, but do not lie, please, because murder will out. And I hope you understand what I mean by that. Eventually, you will be found out. So just be very honest. Job interviews are very important, since your performance in these interviews will depend on whether or not you get the job. Remember, the interviewer or interviewers will be sizing you up as soon as you enter the room. For the first 5 minutes, you are either going to capture the interest of the persons who are interviewing you, who will be questioning you, or you are going to appear dull and uninteresting. I wish to congratulate Axcel Finance for this program that is being offered to you participants today. We urge you to continue to work in the interest of the nation's youth. We also urge all Antiguans and Barbudans to support your enterprise. To all the participants on today's workshop, I urge you to continue to do your best in whatever you do in life so that you can emerge winners. Thank you very much.